Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Troll, co-editor-in-chief of the school newspaper and sports section editor and the host of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Kyiel, Gallanosa, an opinion writer here at Santa Clara High.
I'm Vera and I'm a sports section writer at Santa Clara High.
And I'm Chloe Dow, a freshman at Santa Clara High School, a staff writer for The Roar, and today we will be talking about the dangers of oversharing on social media.
So what do we mean by oversharing in social media, Chloe?
When we talk about oversharing, it means that many people on social media share the little things about their daily life, but they don't realize how many consequences come along with it.
Some examples could be tagging your real-time location, sharing private problems about family and friends, or venting negative emotions to strangers online.
Yeah, but I do think that oversharing doesn't come from a bad place all the time. For a lot of people, it means wanting to connect with their friends or family.
Yeah, in the same sense, it's also important for people to have like a creative outlet, and to users, creating and sharing their own insights and experiences can be therapeutic. Yet it's also important to know the lines between creating and sharing experiences that highlight yourself as an individual, than just sharing confidential information like everyday things that aren't necessary to post.
We can dive into talking about spam accounts, which are private accounts that people use to post more often for their close friends. But I do think that it doesn't mean that they're actually private, and even though spam accounts feel more personal to you, oversharing on them can still be really risky. And that just because you trust your followers doesn't mean that whatever you post on there can be spread beyond your following count.
Yeah, and I feel like some people spend too much time oversharing on spam accounts. Like, they could be doing productive things instead. I see a lot of spam accounts I follow post 20 or more reposts in an hour, and even if the account is a spam account, what's the point in doing all that? Because most people just skip past all those reposts. And I asked my friend how many views she gets on those reposts that she puts on her spam, and it showed that she only had 4.
Oh, that's actually really sad. You know what? I also have a spam account, so like overall spam accounts like differ from regular accounts because it gives as you said, like it gives people a place to like overshare and like to repost their own like reels and everything. But with like regular accounts, like people actually have to think about what they post, and like other people actually have to like have a lot of say in what they post. Like, oh, should I post this? Maybe he'll see this, like blah blah blah. And on the other hand, back to like spam accounts, they just like post without any thought, like you guys just said.
Exactly. I do agree with you, Kyiel. I do think the big reason why people overshare on social media in the first place is because it kind of feels like a diary or like a safe space for them. I also have my own Finsta account, and I do post a lot on it, like almost every day, but oversharing isn't usually intentional for me. A lot of the time, including me, I feel like people are just looking for someone to talk to or let off some steam, and when someone is stressed or emotional, it can feel a lot easier to vent on social media compared to talking face to face with someone else.
Yeah, and I love posting a lot, and ever since I got Instagram, it was like life-changing because sometimes I do regret posting things, and I later realized that I was oversharing too much, or it was like really irrelevant. Something I like to do on Instagram is like messaging people. It somehow feels less personal than iMessages, and I like to connect with many others without having to ask for their actual phone number.
Do you think that new users on Instagram, kind of what you were saying, or just like whether it's younger people or new people, whenever people get Instagram and kind of just like have that first taste of posting things and getting to share their lives, do you think that really influences like, or that's like where a lot of oversharing can start, or like, you know, like that first feeling of, oh my gosh, like everybody can see what I'm posting, like I can't wait to share everything. Do you think that like that first like experience can like open up a lot of oversharing for people?
Yeah, with me personally, I didn't get Instagram until like the 7th grade, so I was really new to it, and I actually like posted a lot, and I was like, and I tried to like grow out my followers, right? So like I always kept oversharing, and like posting reels and like posting like every single like thing that I've done in my life. So yeah, I feel like there is like a huge influence to just like being you, and like maybe you'll have to like have Instagram. I mean, like have more like time on Instagram to like get. Okay, Chloe, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I first got Instagram in like 6th grade, I think, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I finally, like Amanda said, I finally have a place to share whatever. So I remember I would repost every single thing I related to, like POV, you like blah blah blah, and I would repost that on my story all the time. So yeah.
How about you, Vera?
Yeah, everything I posted that when I first got Instagram is like everything I regret posting. Like I hate everything I posted when I first got it.
I get you guys. When I first got Instagram, when I want to say I was in 6th grade, I had these really cute Rila Kuma socks that I got from Taiwan, and of course I thought it was like I thought it was a great idea to post my socks, but really I was just kind of like posting my feet. Which, looking back, I deleted it. It's like I don't have any trace of that photo, but like just knowing that I posted that when I was like 11, just like no one wants to see my socks. No one wants to see my feet.
Oh yeah, I like how we added on to that. Since we were all like, you know what? Let's just dive into the consequences of oversharing.
Okay, yeah. I think that oversharing is obviously dangerous, and it makes users online vulnerable to cyberbullying, which could lead to worse consequences like being doxxed, where like your home address could be shown out to the public, or your birthday, or your birth certificate, stuff like that. And especially since the majority of Santa Clara High or people that use the internet are minors, we're more prone and vulnerable to sharing their experiences online compared to, let's say, more mature people like our parents, grandparents, so on.
Yeah, I feel like oversharing sometimes disguises itself as like you being honest about like what's going on in your life, but I feel like it's not like, it's less of being real and more like, oops, maybe I said too much.
Well, if oversharing is that bad, how does its effects and consequences change on the different platforms you decide to overshare on?
I think like on Instagram, people like to share photos of themselves, and effects of when you do that is like a lot of people overanalyze every single part of the photo that you post and make like negative comments about them, even if it's like a joke sometimes. And sharing other people's photos without consent can like lead to misunderstandings.
How about you, Chloe?
No, yeah. I also wanted to add that I think oversharing on, let's say, a private Snapchat story isn't going to have the same consequences as oversharing on a public TikTok post, because I do think that more people have TikTok compared to Snapchat, which lets your post have a bigger audience and the content posted there last longer. And it can also be shared to more people than you think. Strangers can screenshot, repost, and judge things without any context.
With that aspect, yeah, because like social platforms like allow viewers to just like have a copy or to document something that already has been posted. Is just like another thing to add to the list of reasons why oversharing leaves users vulnerable.
And going back to Snapchat, I feel like oversharing on Snapchat can be like snapping someone a photo that you didn't want anyone else to see. And Snapchat usually has like features to prevent oversharing, like notifying the other person if someone has screenshot, saved, or like screen recorded anything you say in a conversation. But I feel like some people could still keep a photo without the other person knowing by taking a photo of their phone using an iPad or like any other way, and this oversharing can be harmful because you didn't want other people to see the snap or keep it.
Yeah, anyway, you know those comments under TikTok posts that are like, bye college, say bye to college? That's basically because of like digital footprint, and that happens when you overshare on social media, because people can, like, again, they can always screenshot, save, share your content whenever they want, wherever they want. Even if you delete a message or post, it's still out there, which is why it's called a digital footprint. And it could be anything you share on social media could be a result of emotional posting, which means oversharing when you're angry, stressed, or sad, and which can lead to being impulsive and can cause backlash in the future.
Thank you guys for your insight. I just really want to tie in with like how oversharing in media platforms also has like kind of have to do with like monetizing personal life. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with trying to get like an extra few bucks in just for posting, but what once becomes like a tool for like to like connect with others, and like it's also like your own diary, but it like turns into like a whole money factory.
Do you guys want to bring up influencers such as Pepper Raquel, where she shares every aspect of her life, and not necessarily all of it is true or like for like in a like oversharing way, but like for views, for things, like making a show of everything that's not necessarily like oversharing the truth, but just putting everything out there for all like complete public scrutiny. Do you guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I feel with that, I think there's like also another like popular example too, like streamers. Do you know like what's his name? I Show Speed. He like documents every single part of his life, and it's just like really a lot. What do you think about like Pepper Raquel?
Pepper Raquel, I feel like it all started because her parents were the one that put her into that business, and she just didn't have
Exploited her.
Yeah, exploited her and didn't allow her to grow up with a childhood or not a social life, but like what a kid is quote unquote supposed to live like with school and new friends, but they forced
privacy.
her, and they forced her into making content 24/7. And I guess that like kind of messed with her a little bit.
No offense, Piper Rockwell, if you're listening.
Yeah, I feel like oversharing has like a huge emotional toll to people. And I feel like also a lot of people on social media do these get ready with me's and share everything that is going on in their lives while they're like doing their skincare and making money off it. And I feel like creators that overshare create a bond to their audience, making the audience more invested in their content. And most of these comments on these oversharing types of content are judging their life, and it's basically like none of their business, but it's encouraging the creator to overshare for more engagement.
Yeah, and going back to those get ready with me's, dude, some of those get ready with me's start off so inappropriate. Like they're like I've seen one where they're like straight up in their underwear, which millions of likes with millions of likes and hundreds of comments that raises the user's video to beat the algorithm, which allows this like very inappropriate video to appear on a minor's feed, which is like another consequence to oversharing, as you're endangering yourself and others by showing that.
Yeah, exactly. I think the problem with these influencers like Piper Raquel monetizing their personal life is that they turn oversharing into a job. Like all of a sudden, sharing every little detail of their life, like iShow's feed, isn't something they do day to day, but it becomes something they have to do to keep their fans and their income. And then I think that this kind of pressure really messes with mental health and blurs the line between your private life and your online appearance.
Yeah, and not to mention how oversharing can come back to haunt you by people weaponizing what you share against you. Like, for example, someone could repost something and another person would misinterpret it and think it's about them when it actually isn't. And oversharing can shape your reputation in real life because some people only know you for what you post on social media.
Okay, yeah, because like a few weeks ago, I was going through my archive in Instagram stories, and I scrolled all the way back up to my first few posts, and I would see like all my close friends. I would post rants about like my parents or or people I didn't generally like, and me today, I wouldn't have posted any of those rants on my story today. So I'm really glad that my account is private.
Yeah, no, I have similar experiences I can call back to. Like in 4th grade, I used to have this whole TikTok account where I would just like vent online. But I get you, you know, like but it felt good if you were going to look back at it, because that was like how we released like our steam towards like anything that made us mad, like parents or like people. Yeah, Vera, anything else you want to say?
Well, did you like post when you were like in 4th grade or like 3rd grade?
Yes.
In elementary school?
Yes, I did.
I think that's really crazy because I didn't get a phone until the end of 8th grade. So like oversharing as an 8-year-old sounds kind of crazy.
But for me, it was like a big part in like having creative outlet. So there's that.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Oh, wait, Kyiel, I want to bring this up. Do you remember all the beef and drama in middle school?
Yes.
Everybody would post their drama on Instagram story and notes,
right?
but I do feel like it was really unnecessary, especially because we were like 12 years old.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like what Amanda said, like about the rush with just getting Instagram, but like we actually posted a lot, and like personally, I show like histrionic behavior, and I think that follows up with who I am now. But in middle school, I really wanted to be out there, so yes, I also did post a lot, and also my beef, but it's okay that I wouldn't do it right now. So there's that.
Okay, yeah, I do see where you're coming from, but I want to say again, like I feel most of the time that posting all of this stuff backfires and the drama drags from social media and into school.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying because beef coming from social media is really unnecessary. And I remember in 7th grade, I had 2 friends I was really close with, and they didn't know each other at that time. And it ended up they had a little argument over social media, and they hated each other for the rest of their lives and avoided each other for the rest of the year. And I feel like they could have had the opportunity to become friends from before, but the beef really does drag out to school and causes a lot of issues that didn't have to happen.
Do you guys want to talk about the trend that I feel like I've seen it a little bit over the past couple of months, but there's like a trend that's like canceling myself before other people can cancel me. And a lot of people find it like really, really entertaining. I know I find it entertaining because I get to like hear people say all the bad things that they've done. But do you view those things when it's like purposefully oversharing or purposely sharing things that could get somebody in trouble as like harmful, or do you feel like trends like that where like somebody's kind of like owning it takes away some harms or consequences of oversharing?
You know what? I think it's kind of both. Like, it's oversharing, like, okay, we didn't know that you said the N-word in 8th grade. But also, like, hey, at least you know that you said it and you know that was wrong. And, hey, it's a new you. We're going to cancel you. Anyways.
Yeah, I honestly feel like some oversharing is actually funny, like, when it turns into content. Like, I know a lot of people do those, like, meta glasses, and then they do something, like, really funny. And I actually find it entertaining.
Yeah, but I do think that, like, exposing yourself kind of, like, let's say you said the N-word and now you're up online posting to, like, millions of people saying, oh, yes, I said the N-word, like, just the other day. I feel like that's definitely going to backfire, and if you are posting like that, then are you really sorry for it, you know? Because, again, you're monetizing yourself, basically. I have a question for everyone. When or who should you really be posting to online? Like family, friends, family?
Well, you know what? That's like a hard question because, like, in this podcast, we formed this general opinion that everyone sees, spam accounts are not really that private. You know, like, some people actually like to private their account on Instagram, but it can really, like, spread on, like, real quick. And for me, who do you share it to? There's no exact answer for me, and I believe you should, like, share only, like, about a chunk of your life. But it's almost in the sense that you need to read the room. How about you, Vera? What do you think?
You should only probably share something like after you processed it, because it prevents emotional oversharing. And I think it's only good to post where you are after you leave the location, because you never know what kind of predators that are like lurking online. And you should only share personal details of your life to people you interact with in real life every day on your spam account or close friend story. To know so much about another person you don't even talk to is kind of an invasion of privacy, and it can be like further escalated by stalking.
I agree. Like, for example, you could post something super personal about yourself, but then your followers could use that info against you and use that to spread rumors or gossip about you. And if you do want to post about your daily life online, I think it's best that it's only shared to a small group of people you trust, like your best friends or family members.
Yeah, I agree. That's very solid. Like, this has been such a wild experience. Is there anything else you guys need to add?
Nah, I don't think so. I think to wrap everything up, oversharing on social media is an emotional outlet for a lot of people, which is great. But the only downside is that you have to be careful of what you post and who gets to see it, because it can always be used against you.
And I guess the big message we want to share is be careful when you post on social media. There are a lot of dangers when it comes to these online platforms, and I think it's safe to say that nobody wants their private information with someone they don't know, right?
Well, thanks, guys. Well, I guess you have it, Bruins.
Don't forget to look through the Santa Clara High School Roar website for daily stories by our school's own journalism class, featuring many of your classmates you might know.
Also, make sure to follow our Instagram at SCHS The Roar and subscribe to our YouTube channel, also SCHS The Roar, where you can listen to our previous podcasts and watch our bi-weekly segments.
I'm Vera Lau.
I'm Chloe Dow.
And I'm Kyiel.
Take
Care, Bruins. Roar out.